Hello everybody, I am Ty's Model Trains. So anyways, this video will be made for kids because this is basically, to me, an entry level for kids to get into this hobby. And I know a lot of you Thomas fans out there are mostly adults sometimes and then teenagers. I understand, but these are models, these are geared towards kids. Heck, the packaging even says 8 plus. So if it doesn't say 13 plus, then it's made for kids, unfortunately. Um, so yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and get right into things. As you guys can see, kids will be able to get a Thomas the Tank Engine in a Christmas set. They've sold better ones in the past. This one is the weakest one in my opinion because in the past Christmas Thomases that we had from Bachmann, you had like 4 or 5 pieces of rolling stock, and now they minimized it to 2. And I really don't think this was a smart way to cut costs or anything. I really believe that they probably should have kept the way the Christmas Thomas was with the Christmas tree and the several bits of rolling stock. I mean, it would have been really nice. That way you can consider it a Christmas train. This is not really a train. It's really just like I don't know what you would call this, but to me that's not really a Christmas train. So as you can see, we're getting that. Yada yada yada. Some more Christmas stuff. Oh, this is kind of cool, but I'll be doing some more of this stuff on a separate video for the adults. So yeah, as you all know, Thomas is turning 75 this year, which is outstanding. It's kind of hard to believe that he's been here for 75 years. Now, if you guys are Thomas fans, now for the kids, there are some starter sets. Most of them consist of Thomas. There used to be in the past like a starter set with Percy, James, I believe even Gordon had one. They had one of Salty. It was called Salty's Dockside Delivery, but that is a rare set now because that locomotive and that certain character is discontinued. And they had one with Emily. They had one of Gordon. There were several sets, but now it's mostly focusing on Thomas. The newest one, it looks like they replaced the speed-activated sound Thomas with just a standard Thomas with the troublesome trucks 1 and 2. The 3 original pieces from Bachmann when they started this range. It looks like the troublesome trucks will come with coal loads or quarry loads, and you'll have a nice little quarry tower right here. So I think this would be a really nice starter set right here because you're getting a building, you're getting 2 freight cars with loads, and you're getting a locomotive. Now you can get like 40% off on this retail price. I can't really see what the price is. I'm not even going to try. I'm sure it's like $275, but if you go like on Amazon or sometimes even Walmart, you can definitely go on Walmart.com because I even looked up on Walmart.com. Now, they don't sell them in stores, obviously, but you can definitely get the Bachmann Thomas stuff from Walmart and from Amazon, Train World, stuff like that, and you will get like a 40% off. Not really discount, but you'll get a 40% mark off on that price because Thomas is definitely more affordable than the traditional HO scale stuff. So this is a brand new starter set. I'm thinking about getting this for myself as well because of the troublesome trucks, the fact they come with loads. A new Thomas, you can never have too many Bachmann Thomases, I'll tell you that now, because you never know when one of them's going to, give up, is going to, break on you. And if you don't have the potential, not the potential, but if you don't have the equipment to fix that locomotive, you'll have spares. So I honestly recommend getting everything from this range. So yeah, it's really exciting that we are getting this Thomas and Friends starter set. And if you're a parent watching this video that's made for kids, I highly recommend that you invest in doing this, especially if you're into trains and your son or daughter, grandson, nephew, niece, granddaughter. If they're highly into the hobby because you're into the hobby, or if they want to get into the hobby and they're really young, like the packaging says 8 and up, then you can definitely get your kids into this hobby, which is really nice to see. So you do have the starter set with Thomas, Annie, Clarabelle, the Troublesome Trucks with the coal tower. Like I said, I guess they discontinued the deluxe set because there was a set that had Thomas, Harold, Bertie, Sir Topham Hatt, and Annie and Clarabelle, and it was an oval track. That was my starter set into this range. As you can see, they got the Christmas set, which we already discussed. Here's the speed activated sound Thomas that I was talking about. This is a really nice piece. I don't own this myself, but I may end up getting it, and I will do a review for you all. This is a brand new piece. They took out the Celebration Thomas in replace of this from the hit movie from the featured film Thomas and Friends, The Adventure Begins. This is basically Thomas's origins when he first arrives on the island of Sodor, and he's in this green and white paint scheme. It says LBSC. That is actually a reference to his locomotive-based. The actual locomotive that he was based on, that was the actual company's name, was LBSC. And on the 70 on the side was because of his 70th anniversary, which was really cool to see. So this is really nice to see. I will probably be getting this, but I'll probably just leave it in the packaging because I don't really want to open this up and run it on my layout. Then you have the traditional regular Thomas. You got Percy, James, Gordon, and then this is a brand new piece as well. The Busy Bee James. This is a reference to Percy's In Charge, I believe, where Percy tells James to go get repainted into a Bumblebee style paint scheme, and it was a really hilarious, little scene, and I thought it was really, it was really funny. I cannot believe that he actually went and did this. He should have just refused, but James should have. But that was pretty hilarious. And this is also probably another collector's piece for hardcore Thomas fans, such as myself and other members like Terrence the Tractor 525. I will not be opening up the LBSC Thomas and the Busy Bee James because, to me, those are more collector pieces. But if your kids are interested in them, then definitely buy them for your kids. I'm just saying that it's more collector geared, but that's okay. Everyone else on here has been in the range for quite some time. Oliver's recently new. Rosie's definitely recently new. Daisy is a brand new, well, she's an older character, but she's a brand new engine that's coming to the range, which is really nice to see. I cannot wait for Daisy. Daisy is a character that I grew up with when Thomas and Friends was made with model trains. The original early seasons, they were made by model trains. They weren't made by CGI and all of this other cool stuff that they do nowadays. To me, I prefer the model stuff because the model stuff was really cool and how they did it. There's even videos on how they did it backstage and everything. It's a really cool concept. Definitely check it out. The model train series. It was really cool and how they did it and everything. So yeah, definitely check out the early series of Thomas and Friends, especially with narrator George Carlin. Ringo Starr was the original one of the last remaining Beatles, I believe. But George Carlin I prefer. But if you prefer Ringo, that's fine. I know Alec Baldwin did a couple of seasons as well. But yeah, definitely looking forward to these. I like how you have options for Grumpy Diesel and regular Smiling Diesel. I prefer the Grumpy Diesel because that's how I really see him as a character. He's not really a kind, friendly character, especially to the steam engines. Even some of his diesel companions, he's definitely not friendly. So the Grumpy one is definitely more of my taste. And the Red Rosie is from the new version of Thomas and Friends where it's all CGI now. So if your kid prefers Red Rosie, that's fine. But they also have a girly-fied one where she's all pink, and this is the one that I grew up with. So that is the model that I will probably be purchasing for my layout. Rolling stock, there's really nothing new. For a short while, for a long while, these express cars or express coaches, these were discontinued, but they revamped them last year, which was really nice to see. These the logging car and these 3 trucks here, these are all new. Nothing too exciting. Everything else has been in the range for a while. Spiteful Brake Van, he's been in the range for a while now as well. Everything right here is brand new. The Troublesome Tanker in these 3 flat wagons. I'm not really too sure about the 3 flat wagons, but I will be getting the Troublesome Truck number 6, the Troublesome Tanker, because this appeared early in the series when Thomas and Friends was models. This did appear for a short minute, and it was from Toad Stands By, an episode that Scruffy right here appears in, so definitely check it out. It's a really nice episode. Again, it's from the model series, and definitely check it out. It's a really cool episode, really cute. Personally, I love the episode. Everyone from the Thomas fandom loves it, and personally, I think your kids will as well. Anyways, Peter Sam is brand new to the narrow gauge line. The narrow gauge stuff has recently just kind of came out of nowhere. It was really exciting to see that they're doing the narrow gauge engines. Like if your kid ever watched Blue Mountain Mystery, they'll be fond of these characters, and it's really cool to see that they're actually doing these characters in HO scale. Let me clarify something. These are HO scale engines, but they run on N scale track because they're narrow gauge. So if your kid is more into the narrow gauge engines, hey, that's probably better off because N gauge track is smaller than HO, and you'll have on a 4x8 ply sheet of wood, you can do a lot more with narrow gauge track than regular standard HO. So this is actually space friendly, which is really, really cool. So definitely this is really nice to start in. The locomotives are definitely really, they're more on the expensive side, but like I said, if you go to a dealer like Train World or maybe even Amazon, you can probably find it cheaper, but you will not find it cheap on the Bachmann website. They will be like $200, which is okay. They do have some buildings and stuff that you can get, like engine sheds, platforms, stations. It's really cool to see this concept come into the Thomas and Friends range. And that is it for the Bachmann HO scale range. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I really hope your kids enjoyed this video because we do need more younger folks into this hobby, because this hobby is kind of, I wouldn't want to say dying, but it's not really doing so well right now, I guess because of some of these prices. But other than that, this is a pretty good starter for your kids. Any kid can get into this, and I hope that they do. So anyways, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time. Adults, hang on. If you're not into this kind of stuff, I will probably cover over some of the more unified adult trains. So stay tuned. I will be back with some of that.